season is here, and today is all about cookies, cookies, and more cookies. Ta-da! Whether you give them as gifts, bring them to a party, or bake them for yourself, festive cookies are the #1 baked item during the holidays. I'll show you a neat decorating hack, how to make stickers out of buttercream. That is delicious. Plus some seriously colorful ones. And finally, a towering tree made entirely out of sugar cookies. Ooh! So grab your mixing bowls and cookie cutters, and let's bake up some sweet holiday cheer. I'm Mia Starr, and I love to bake. Woo! I like to roll up my sleeves, get creative, and decorate all kinds of yummy treats. So amazing, it's like a flavor explosion. And to me, any holiday is a perfect excuse to throw on an apron, make a giant batch of buttercream, and get a little extra. Ooh! I'll teach you techniques and show you a ton of shortcuts. Isn't this the cutest thing you've ever seen? Whatever your level of expertise, I promise you'll be able to pull this off. Let's bake the holidays. I'm gonna show you a really fun little hack for decorating with buttercream stickers to jazz up your holiday cookies this year. Starting with a simple sugar cookie recipe, I'm gonna combine my dry ingredients with cornstarch, baking powder, and a very generous pinch of salt to my flour. Then whisk to combine. Now cream together softened butter and granulated sugar. Turn up your mixer and beat this together till it's light and fluffy. Turn your mixer down and add eggs one at a time. Now what makes this recipe my favorite are the extracts. So I'm gonna add vanilla extract, which adds the flavor we all know and love and associate with sugar cookies. But also I'm gonna add almond extract, which makes the butter taste better, makes the sugar taste better. It's just my favorite thing to add to sugar cookies. Now I'm gonna scrape down the bowl one more time and add in all my dry ingredients. Okay, now get all the dough down from the sides of the bowl, and we'll turn it out and wrap it up in 2 discs. And form it into some flat-ish round discs. This recipe, wrapping up the discs and chilling them, is really important because the butter in this dough right now is soft, and putting it in the fridge to chill gives it that time to firm up. And that, along with the cornstarch, is gonna help the cookies hold its shape when we cut them out. Sprinkle down a little bit of bench flour to keep the dough from sticking, and get ready to roll. The downside of long chilling is that it will be a little harder to roll out. I'm gonna roll this sheet out to about 1/4 inch. I think I'm about there. Now I'm gonna cut out these geometric shapes to switch it up from maybe your classic sugar cookie. With this decorating technique that I'm gonna show you, it has a lot of detail and needs more surface area on the cookie to give room to create the design. So that's why I'm using geometric shapes rather than maybe a more prescriptive holiday sugar cookie shape. I love sugar cookies. I feel like it really makes me feel like the holiday season has begun when I decorate sugar cookies. When I decorate them at home with my mom, it's like, oh, it's time to relax. I'm gonna bake them at 350 for about 12 to 14 minutes. This buttercream sticker trick is a great way to decorate your cookies if you want to pipe on an elaborate design but you're a little nervous to do it directly on the cookie. First step is to draw out the designs. So I want to create a couple different themed holiday designs, starting with a Christmas tree. You can draw your designs freehand like I'm doing, or you can just go online and print out some cute shapes that you see. Just keep in mind the size and shape of the cookies that you baked so that the design that you create fits onto the cookies. So I'm gonna grab the sheet I drew before, and now I have a bunch of different sticker template options for me to trace. You're gonna cut a piece of parchment paper into small squares that will fit the shape of the sticker. It's about 2 inch by 2 inch. So with one hand, steady the parchment paper to keep it in place, Then pipe over the design. And at this point, don't worry about being super precise because once I transfer on the sticker, I'm gonna add in finishing details afterwards. I always like to outline the shape first and then fill in the center. My best trick for circles like this is rather than trying to create a perfect circle, you can just squeeze from the center and keep it in the same place. Then the buttercream will just expand outwards and create a nice circle. So that's one done. I'll move it to the side for now. Let's do another one. The important thing to keep in mind here is to try to keep the amount of frosting even. Okay, cool. First, before I add the stickers on, I want to pipe on a base layer of buttercream so that there's a little buttercream with every bite. Just pipe an outline of the shape, staying in about 1/2 centimeter from the edge. Then fill it in. Smooth it out just enough, but it doesn't have to be perfect. This is the cool part. Flip the cookie upside down and press it onto a piece of parchment paper. Basically what this is doing is it's flattening the buttercream against the parchment paper, and then I'm gonna chill it and take it off. It'll be perfectly flat and smooth for me to add the stickers on. Okay, ready for the reveal? Just peel it off. There's a nice flat surface. So just gently pick up the sticker and then position it over the cookie in the center. Lay it on and give it a couple light taps. And you want to be gentle with it. Just tap to adhere, because if you were to put too much pressure on and smear it, then you're going to lose the shape of your design. If you have trouble with centering your designs when you pipe on top of a cookie, this is a great hack. These are going to go back in the fridge to set. Now we peel to reveal. Ooh, that was a nice peel. Little polar bear, woo! This one. Isn't that amazing? It is so satisfying to just see it transfer onto there. I think before I pipe on details, I want to create a little ring of sprinkles to clean up the edges on the cookie. Since the buttercream's pretty firm, I'll just pipe on a little extra soft buttercream to adhere the sprinkles to the edges. And then just dip. Nice. I like that. Try to cover up all the buttercream, but if a little bit shows, that's okay. Cute! Great! Now that I have sprinkle borders on, it's just time to finish with details. Now doing this black outlining detail work will definitely stretch your decorating skills because it does require a really steady hand. But I think it's a fun way to give it that cartoon-like look, and it adds some definition and detail to your stickers. How cute is that? Okay, done. So cute and cozy. I want to be this polar bear. Ta-da! Buttercream sticker sugar cookies. Look at them. They're almost too cute to eat. Almost. But I want to try one. That is delicious. Just soft, the cookie is thick and buttery, that almond extract comes in nicely, and a little crunch from the sprinkles. This next cookie answers the age-old question. What is blue and white and striped all over? A blue zebra shortbread cookie! These shortbread cookies are exceptionally delicious. They have a rich buttery flavor, a crunchy sugar rim, and these cute blue stripes that are so fun and festive for winter. And they're great for Hanukkah. To make the dough, combine the dry ingredients. I have flour and salt. Whisk it up. Then cream together butter and sugar. For this cookie, I have 2 types of sugar, a regular granulated sugar and also powdered sugar. Now mix that up till it's light and fluffy. Now I'm gonna add 1 egg yolk and vanilla extract. Vanilla extract is a common ingredient in a lot of baked goods, and what I like to say is that vanilla extract is to baking as salt is to savory cooking. It just adds that depth of flavor. So these cookies are very butter forward. It's gonna taste like butter, but the vanilla just helps amp up the flavor. Now add in all the dry ingredients and mix in on low speed. Now because these are gonna be blue and white striped zebra cookies, I'm gonna take out half the dough to keep it white and dye the rest blue. I'm gonna start by adding a few drops of sky blue gel color. I'm going for a light icy blue. It's okay if the color is not completely homogeneous. Honestly, a few streaks of blue and white might add to a whimsical winter effect. Lay out a sheet of parchment paper and start with about 1/3 of the blue dough. Form it into a rectangle shape, about 2 by 6 onto the parchment. Then grab about half of the white dough. Then form that into the same size and shape rectangle right on top of the blue. This layer might be a little bit thicker because we're using half of the white dough. Shortbread cookies are super popular this time of year. You might have seen them in the store in decorative tins, all individually wrapped with different cookies. And to be honest, those kinds of shortbread cookies aren't the best. They're kind of dry, don't have too much of a flavor. But a fresh shortbread cookie should be so crumbly with a rich butter flavor. So if you think you don't like shortbread cookies and you've never had a fresh one, maybe it's time to give it a chance. Okay, so now starting from the center, working outwards, I'm going to extend the log and make it longer. This is eventually going to turn into a long round log that I'm going to cut into cookies. So I'm just getting it going from the center outwards to lengthen this log. I'm just going to roll it up with the parchment all the way. Twist both ends to make a little shortbread dough package. And then chill this in the fridge or freezer until it's nice and firm. This is great, nice and firm. Unroll. And now I'm going to brush the entire log in egg wash. This egg wash is going to help the crystal sugar rim adhere to the cookies. This crystal sugar is half white and half silver. And I think it's gonna create a nice icy effect. Now pick up the log of dough and then simply roll it in the sugar. Whoa, isn't that fun? Once it's all rolled in the crystal sugar, it's time to slice. Now you can really see that cross-section zebra stripe design. I'm cutting these cookies about 1/4 inch thick because I like a nice thick cookie and they're gonna spread out a little bit as they bake. I'm gonna give each cookie one last roll in the crystal sugar and place them on my baking sheet. My first batch is ready to go in the oven at 350 for 10 to 14 minutes. These are done. Time to try it. These are just delectable. The textures are like a party in my mouth. I have the crispy sugar on the outside, the buttery flavor that melts in your mouth. It's the best shortbread cookie I've had. Coming up, green cookies inspired by a classic holiday movie and a vertical cookie cake that will really put you in the holiday spirit. I love these next little green cookies inspired by that grumpy character from the movies. I'm gonna quickly show you how to make them. In a medium bowl, beat together 2 large eggs, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon cinnamon extract. Then give this a mix. When the mixture is well combined, add 1 box of white cake mix. While it mixes, add at least 1 teaspoon of green gel color. Mix it up really well until the color is evenly distributed in the dough. Chill for 10 minutes. Next, scoop the dough onto a parchment-lined baking sheet, leaving room for the cookies to expand. Bake at 350 degrees for 10 minutes. The final step is to press a cute little red candy heart into the center of the cookies. Yum! This next recipe makes a towering cookie tree. If you're throwing a party, this would make a perfect centerpiece for your table. This is the sugar cookie dough I made earlier, and I've already rolled it out. First, I'm gonna cut out all the sugar cookie circles. I like to jiggle my cookie cutters a little bit to make sure that it's hit the table and I've cut the cookie dough all the way through. These cookies don't really spread when you bake them, so you can pack them in tight. Last one, little itty bitty one. Now, these are gonna bake at 350 for 10 to 12 minutes. My sugar cookies are baked and cooled, so now I can assemble the sugar cookie tree. Now to stack the cookie tree, I'm gonna pipe buttercream around the rim and then fill it with mini marshmallows, which not only is delicious and a fun surprise, but it's going to help keep the cookie tree from sinking in on itself with the weight of all the cookies on top. So starting with the green, I'm gonna pipe some rosettes. To pipe the rosettes, I hold my piping bag straight up and down and give a slight hover. Then I squeeze with even pressure while rotating my wrist slightly and bring it back to the center, stop squeezing and pull up. This is a 1M star tip, so it has really nice deep grooves to give that dimensional 3D effect. This is a French tip, and it's characterized by smaller, shorter spikes. I think having variation in piping tips when doing a cookie tree or decorating anything, it gives your eye more to look at, makes the design a little more fun. Now grab a handful of marshmallows and fill the center just to the level of the top of that buttercream. And then the next size cookie goes right on top. This one I like to call a shimmy dollop because as you squeeze, I just shimmy back and forth slightly and it creates those ripples. It almost looks like a dollop of whipped cream. I like to alternate the different shades of green to break up the blocks of color. As I work up and the cookies get smaller and smaller, I can also make my dollops a little bit smaller. Okay, now that I'm nearing the top, it's not gonna be as heavy up here, so I'm gonna be done with the marshmallows and just fill in with buttercream. Yay! Now this is immediately gonna go in the fridge to chill so that the buttercream has time to harden and we have a nice sturdy structure to decorate. Next, I'm gonna show you how to decorate like a pro. Now the sugar cookie tree is solid. It's not gonna move anywhere, so I have a great structure and base to decorate. Okay, I'm gonna start down at the base. I chose these colors because of how they contrast against the green and the cookie, so they really stand out to me as decorative ornaments. This is a 107 tip. The way the tip is cut is interesting because as I pipe out, look at how it just swirls on its own. It's pretty cool. This tip is just another French tip. Similar shape, but a different size, so it gives a slightly different effect. So again, the same tip, you can do a variety of techniques. Okay, before I pipe on more, I'm gonna add some dragées. So you can have dragée rods and also little tiny sprinkles like this. Let's start with the bars. The bars, since they're larger and more prominent, I'm gonna place them first so that as I decorate, I'll put in the smaller pieces and then I can make sure that I have a nice balanced design throughout my cookie tree. Ooh! I love this mix of dragée balls because they're different sizes and different colors. I'm gonna stick them onto the piped pink and purple dollops. These are gonna be like my ornaments. Ooh, it's looking fun. These little sprinkles, I like the texture that it adds. Kind of fills in empty spaces and I think it completes the design. Wow! I love it. I think this is pretty good for the metallics. And now I'm gonna add some other sprinkles to finish off the tree. I like the way that white can brighten up a design, especially something like this. These little pink stars are adorable. I'm gonna add them on. Okay, good. I'm going to add the tree topper. I cut one extra tiny cookie that's the same size as the top of the tree. I'm gonna mix some gold highlighter luster dust, edible of course, and just enough vodka to make it a paint. So when you paint it on, the alcohol evaporates and just leaves the golden sheen. Okay, since the theme of this tree is extra, I'm gonna go a little extra with the tree topper and add some glitter stars. Just a little. It's something that you see when you get up close and look at it closely. Time for the finishing touch. Add the tree topper. Ta-da! I mean, seriously, look at this. This would make an amazing centerpiece for your table. I wouldn't slice into this like a traditional cake. You just take it off layer by layer. So the last person gets the best piece. I hope you enjoyed our festive journey and found some unexpected cookies to add to your holiday repertoire. These are sure to jazz up your cookie platter. See you next time on Baking the Holidays.